back to the channel. So a couple of hours ago, the South Africa Football Association president and CEO had a press conference with the media, a lengthy press conference, which I'm going to digest with you right now. Some few things they mentioned in the press conference I did not agree with, and I'm looking to debunk here. And it's quite interesting what they had to say at the press conference. Well, it's essentially about the incident that happened in the World Cup qualifier game. Well, not the incident per se. They are saying the whole game, the officiating was the bias, and they are refereeing experts who happens to be South African. Well, I thought on the first note that was a wrong move. If you want a real unbiased opinion, probably not someone who is South African, but hey, he is an expert referee. Who am I? I am not an expert referee, but I just felt the bias, he would be biased, even though he stated that he had not been paid any money. Well, it's your country. Probably you don't need any money motivation, but that's beside the point. They had some few allegations in the presser, which I would like to address. And as the president of SAFA started the press conference, we'll have a look at the full press conference, not everything, but a few things I picked up in there, and what he had to say, and my thoughts on them. As usual, subscribe if you have not. Click on the notification bell to get more updates. So South Africans are not happy, and it's quite clear they felt really aggrieved by the Ghana Black Stars in that game. But some allegations being made, especially by some of the players, Ronald Williams, the captain of the side, the South African captain, and the defender that was at the center of controversy in the penalty incident. He also spoke to the media. But we'll start from the South African Football Association president. He started the press conference, and he enlightened us on when South Africa decided to take the intention of making that appeal. We'll have a listen to what he had to say.
Match in Cape Coast in Ghana. I think there was an outpouring of emotion in our country. We all watched the match. I then phoned the CEO, who was at that time with the match officials, and the head of delegation was there with him, Mr. Aubrey Bartman, and Vincent Checker is somewhere here as the manager of the team. And I then asked him to go and approach the match officials and inform them that we are going to challenge the outcome of the match, and specifically we are concerned with certain decisions in the match, and so we're going to ask for an investigation into match manipulation.
He then went on to define what match manipulation
is when there is unlawful influence or unlawful altering of the direction or the cause of the match or the result of the match or any aspect of the match. This is Ghana versus South Africa bookmakers.
So immediately he went on to also talk about the betting spikes that happened during the game between Ghana versus South Africa. Says around the time leading up to the penalty, there were betting spikes. I don't know, but if you watch a live game of football, there are betting spikes most of the time when there's a set piece about to be played, and there was a corner before the penalty. So could that not be the reason why the betting spikes were there? That is not conclusive yet, and I'm happy he later admitted that it's up to FIFA to determine that.
According to them, has put a mistaken favorite and put the other betting there. So it is a fact that there was bet on the match. Now, what we want FIFA to investigate also, because what happens in betting, if I know that in the 10th minute the referee is going to give a penalty, then there's a betting spike just before the penalty is given. And if that happens, that the betting spikes coincide with the decision, then you know. But how is it that there's a betting spike just before it is a major decision is taken, and therefore people bet. So they knew when to bet.
Not necessarily that they knew when to bet. As I said before we watched this clip, probably it could be that when there was even a corner kick, any corner kick that Ghana had, I would be in the stands and shout goal. If I am betting on my phone, I'll play something on it because I think it's a set piece that could lead to a goal. Fortunately or unfortunately, it happened that incident led to a penalty decision that was taken by the referee. And that was it. That was what happened. So probably that could account for the betting spikes. So yeah, you should rather leave it to FIFA. I think they will better make a decision on that matter. I don't think this one is quite clear on it because it was a set piece corner kick. A corner kick can lead to a goal. I can place a bet on it that the next goal will go for Ghana. And if that leads to a penalty, that leads to the next goal and me winning my bet, it doesn't mean it will necessarily that was the manipulation. Just get me right. I'm not saying the referee in no way is innocent, but I'm just saying that some of the things they used as basis to show that the referee was biased is not conclusive. So FIFA will have to do that.
Because it's online betting, you sit at home, you watch the match, and you watch the time because you have information. Of course, we don't have the capacity to do that. We've asked FIFA to do that. You don't have the second, but in any case, it's confirmed that there are many, and they express their own views. You have seen the articles, you are journalists. There was one saying that if Ghana loses this match, there'll be major problems, even for the president of the country.
And that statement he makes right there concerning the problems that will happen to the president of the country was made by opposition man Sami Jemfi in an interview on radio. He talked about the fact that Ghana had been to World Cups under former presidents, and under Akufo-Addo alone, we had failed to go to 2018 World Cup, and now we are probably going to miss out on Qatar 2022. He said that Ghanaians will not forgive Akufo-Addo if that happens. It was made by opposition leader. That does not mean that was the reason why, or probably why, Ghana would manipulate the game. It was an opposition leader or member of an opposition national party making a statement to create some sort of propaganda, as they usually do here in Africa, in Ghana. It's not clear, but these are some of the ones I picked, and I thought that I should clear the air on that one.
There's a further one saying that this is a must-win for Ghana, a win at all costs. Ghana must win. Now, all of those things, it could be just a spontaneous, patriotic expression and in their support of the national team. But we're asking FIFA again to look at these things and apply their mind. It is normal. You may know that when we played against Senegal, we were given a penalty, and upon the review, we said, it's not a penalty. And when FIFA asked us, we said, well, if there is evidence that there may have been manipulation of this match to give us that penalty, even if it's going to secure us to go to the World Cup. No, we don't want to go to the World Cup on that basis. So, if you call a replay of this match, we are prepared to replay the match.
And I have said that here myself. If it is found that the referee was working with a syndicate betting company, was working with someone hand in hand in the FA, was paid and bribed to manipulate the game in favor of Ghana, I'm all for a replay. I am so all for a replay if that is the case. But if it's not the case and South Africa are just grasping at straws and it's just bad officiating on the day by the referee, I hope they'll also be ready to accept that. I have already said it here. If it's a matter of a replay on a good basis of the referee being sort of biased and being proven, Who wouldn't want to replay? I don't want to go to the World Cup thinking that my country cheated someone off or bought their spot or something. No, I would be open to a replay if that's the case, and I am a full agreement of that. Him stating that one, and with that one, referee Joseph Lamte was found to be working with a betting syndicate, and it was his track record, and so it was much easier to take a decision against the referee Joseph Lamte based on that. So if it is proven that the referee in Dai of Senegal does something similar, why not? Who wouldn't want that? Will be one less corrupt referee will be done away with. So yeah, I'm open to that.
Which we did. This time, the boot is on the other foot.
Last travel we did to Ghana.
So the referee, after the SAFA president spoke, the coach had his turn on with the media. The coach also talked about the travel to Ghana. He says that when they traveled to Ghana, the fact that they didn't have the access to the stadium at the Accra Sports Stadium, they had to travel another few hours to Cape Coast. He said 3 hours. Yes, give or take, it can be 3 hours. Zimbabwe game. So in total, he said they traveled 9 hours. That's 6-hour flight from South Africa and a 3-hour journey into Cape Coast. Now, the reason why we could not use the Accra Sports Stadium, which I had noticed that it was a mistake that they had, they were not told, but the Ghana Premier League games were still ongoing. So the Accra Sports Stadium on Saturday was used. The Accra Sports Stadium on Sunday at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. was used. So there was no way the Accra Sports Stadium would have been used. Cape Coast and Accra have been approved by CAF for the World Cup qualifiers, and Accra was being used. If you would like to know, Liberia have played their game here at the Accra Sports Stadium, and Ghana have used the Cape Coast Sports Stadium. Ghana have 2 approved venues by CAF and FIFA, and so they decided that the Cape Coast Sports Stadium would be the stadium that is used for the games throughout. So the Accra Sports Stadium is a spare one, in which in a matter of a country not being able to host their game, they can use that one instead. So Ghana had decided already Cape Coast was the venue, and that is what it was. It wasn't about an agenda to tire South Africa players out. No, nothing like that. But let's listen to what the coach said on the travel.
Okay, it's 6 hours flight. This is not a problem. But you're coming there, and then you need to do a new PCR test. You lose 2 hours, and then you have a travel with bus under 25 kilometers, 3 hours and a half after 6 hours flight. So I think that FIFA has to review that. It's not the travel, but try, if we play in a location that there is an airport, that you don't have to do again another travel. So then came the game against Zimbabwe, and that was maybe our weakest game of all. If you compare that with the other games, the team spirit was not like it was before. We were not the right mentality. We didn't play good. So it was our weakest game. But that can happen. And you know, something like that happened always on the wrong moment. And afterwards, when you see then the goal differences and so on, then you know that if you should have scored 2 or 3 goals, and it was possible, and the game in Ghana should be easier.
So yeah, him admitting there that yes, they did themselves bad. They shot themselves in the foot by not winning that game versus Zimbabwe by more than 1 goal, and they have only themselves to blame. The same way I blame Ghana Black Stars for not scoring more than 1 goal versus South Africa. I think the South Africans have to take some blame here. Against Zimbabwe, they were not up to it. They could have easily scored 2 or 3 goals more, 4 even, and the Ghana game would have been far gone. Ghana would have been far gone by then, but they didn't, and that is how they are still here.
So, and then came the game of Ghana, and you can be sure of it, the determination in the team was there. And after 50 minutes, I went to the bench and I said to my 2 assistants, forget it. Ghana will win this game.
So the coach threw in the towel after 15 minutes. He didn't think his team stood a chance. Wow, okay, that's interesting. I found that quite interesting, because why would you throw in the towel after 15 minutes? 15 minutes, and you could see that you would not win. We hadn't even scored. Ghana had, I think, by the 15 minutes, Ghana had 2 clear-cut chances that we almost or should have scored by 2 goals by then. Probably, maybe that's why he said that. But let's have a listen to why he said after 15 minutes, he had already thrown in the towel.
And in my career, I had also those games that you think that the referee is against you. And it is because you are emotional, because you are nervous. And after the game, you have to be honest with yourself and tell, yes, okay, you were too nervous, you were you didn't see what it was, and okay, he was also against the opponent, and it's normal. But here, after the game, I was more convinced that he has been against us, that we couldn't win that game. And this is very frustrating.
Wow, so he felt the referee was against them and they couldn't win that game. That was quite interesting, and I am all open for investigation. If it is found that the referee was biased, was working with a betting syndicate, had manipulation with the Ghana Football Association, why not? Why not? A replay would be just the right thing to do. But then came the goalkeeper and captain of the side, Warren Williams, and he said a few interesting things, which I would like to comment on. But let's listen.
The referee comes to me before the game and says that he's going to book me for time wasting. I already feel targeted, so I already, going into the game with that at the back of my mind, that I'm a target and that he's looking at me. And then throughout the qualifiers, the ball boys did not have the balls in their hand. The balls were on the cones. But in this specific game, the ball boys had the balls in their hand, which was, unheard of, in this qualifiers. And whenever the ball would go out, they would obviously restart the ball very quickly. They would throw it back quickly. But the moment they scored, the ball boys disappeared, as you can imagine. And it took long for the balls to get back.
First, let me comment on the issue about him being warned by the referee that he would give him a yellow card or a card for time wasting. Now come out and defend himself, because these are serious allegations against the referee. The referee giving you or telling you that he will give you a yellow card is quite weird to me. If he did say that, it is wrong. It's wrong to threaten a player before the game, and I think that something needs to be done if that is true. Also, I also see it like this. He told you he would give you a yellow card if you waste time. Jojo Walcott didn't have the privilege of being told that. He got a yellow card for time wasting. So if anything, the referee helped you. So how is that something that prevents you from winning the game? He also talks about the fact that
I wanted to speak to the ref and tell him that some of the balls are soft, but he didn't want to hear anything about it. He said
So about the soft balls, if the balls were really soft, I don't think he would be the only one to be complaining about that. I think other players will be playing the ball and notice that the ball is too soft and cannot be played well. So if he really felt that way, he should have been more adamant about, hey, I don't know the full story. It's according to him. So we might have to hear from other players before we conclude further. But if the ball is soft, who would enjoy playing it on the pitch? It would go to the disadvantage of every player. So probably I don't get it, but hey.
Rather book me for time wasting. And I mean, coming to their goalkeeper, the moment they scored the goal, he took so much time. And not once did I see the referee, speak to him or anything. I think he only got...
Yeah, the referee didn't speak to him. The referee gave him a yellow card for time wasting. You were fortunate to be told that you'll be given a yellow card if you waste time. So if anything, Jojo Walcott was left in the dark on what would happen if he wasted time.
Booked in the last few minutes. And I mean, from the 32nd minute when we conceded up until 90, I mean, it's 60 minutes in between. And wasting time throughout, for 60 minutes, and not once did he get reprimanded. Whereas I got reprimanded before the game that they are playing.
You got reprimanded before the game? Like, he got a yellow card. He could have easily got a yellow card and be sent off. So you got a warning. I would have preferred if Walcott had got a warning and not gotten a yellow card. I don't know. Maybe I'm not getting it, but help me understand this. you say the referee told you that you shouldn't waste time, otherwise you get a yellow card. That's wrong. The referee shouldn't be doing that. But then you then go ahead to say that the referee reprimands you and doesn't show you a card. But then he shows the card to the opposition goalkeeper for wasting time. And that shows that he's biased to the opposition goalkeeper. Okay, maybe I don't get it. Probably I don't get it. Help me understand, guys.
You know, very physical, and they're not challenging the ball. So he just told me that it's a contact sport. So I said yes, but in the, you know, that the rules must go for both teams. And he just told me to get away because he'll book me.
So that was the captain, Deron Williams, and he ended there with the harsh play that was happening. Yes, it was said about the Ghanaians were quite aggressive on the day, and the job that needed to be done needed some aggression of sorts. And though it was quite unfair, I think the South Africans really felt it. They didn't expect Ghana to be all that gang-ho. I admit the game was quite intense, especially considering what was at stake. Now to the defender that was involved in the penalty incident. Quite interesting take he had here on the game from the defender. It was quite interesting. It was a big game, and we knew that it would mean the country, and we were going to be ready playing against the best in the world. But I felt the opportunity to get a good result was taken away. The decision that was made, it felt like the game was rehearsed from the referees and the ball boys. The first 10 minutes we already saw that we're not going to get anything right. We continue to fight. I wish someone had asked Ronnie Williams why he put his hands on Amate's shoulder. That was the wrongest move he could have ever taken in that game. But let's listen to him.
I can even say, you know, from maybe like the first 10 minutes of the game, you already saw that, I mean, we're not going to get anything right in the game, but we managed to keep our cool, and we continued to fight, and I felt like we had moments in the game to maybe, you know, capitalize, but yeah, I felt like we didn't have a fair chance, you know, and we were robbed, and we deserve. As a player, I feel like we deserve to get a second chance, you know, to play a fair game. And
so that was Russian Daruk. The unfortunate incident. He was the one involved in the penalty incident. I really wish someone had asked him, why did you put your arm on Amate's shoulder? Why? That was a wrong move. That was a wrong move. Though Amate exaggerated, he gave him a chance, an opportunity to take advantage. That was a wrong move. But we went on to the referee expert, who as I said is South African. He said that South Africa later in the game, in the second half of the game, the referee started making good decisions. He also said something quite interesting about the decisions the referee was making that were good. Let's have a listen to that part.
Have the footage
so
of
this
the
is
match.
where he talks about
Stop it at that
the fact
minute.
that
The objective, the color.
Talks about the refereeing decisions that were made. He says this is
On
where
the right-hand
the
column.
good decisions started being made in the second half. He felt that Ghana, by then, the referee felt that he had given Ghana an advantage by the goals that he had scored. So you want to tell me that from that second half to the 90th minute, 45 minutes of football, South Africa could not find a goal. They needed just a goal to go through. You want to blame all that on the referee? Because from this analysis, he admits that the referee started making good decisions throughout the second half. He made, I think, 5 bad calls throughout the second half as compared to the first half, which was quite a horrible display according to the expertise here. Why didn't South Africa score? Well, probably because their coach had given up by the 15th minute. He said it here. He said by the 15th minute, he was done and dusted. And he felt that they would not win. Probably they lost the game through mentality. Their mentality was not positive. They didn't feel they could win it. And that is what he said here. Let's have a listen again.
In the match. Decisions later.
So this was the interesting
in
part
the second
for
half.
me.
5 South Africa. All 5 of them. Not in a single incorrect decision in the second half went against Ghana in that. So when we get a pattern of bias, and when you read this report, you will see instances where there were free kicks that were awarded in favor of South Africa. At moments in the game when allowing the advantage would have led to a promising attack.
Would have led to a promising attack? That's discretionary. How? So if the referee had allowed it and you hadn't scored, so because it's reaching. That's quite reaching to assume. You cannot be so sure that would have led to a goal. He said a promising attack, and probably a goal is what he wanted to say. But you cannot be so sure about that. They are good decisions. He later admitted that. But you cannot tell me that because the referee stopped the game and brought it back, it's quite questionable. This is a tough one. He says that the referee really should have allowed game to flow because it would have led to a promising attack. Wow, it's quite an interesting take on issues.
Several of them. They are logged on as correct decisions because indeed there was a foul on the South African player and the free kick was awarded. So when we look for pattern of bias, we look at the conduct of the referee not only in terms of the incorrect decisions, but at critical moments when he should have allowed that but did not. Because when you look at those specific moments, the Ghanaian defenders were far outnumbered. Promising attack, instead of giving the advantage, let's pull them back so that we give them an opportunity to regroup.
Wow. That's an interesting way to look at it. Wow. Well, that is what he thinks, and hopefully the FIFA review will be forthcoming and will clear a lot of these issues up, because it's quite damning allegations against Ghana, against the referee. His integrity is being called into question. This is quite a damning allegation against the Ghana Black Stars and our integrity as a nation. We'll see how it goes. Eventually, CAF and FIFA will analyze it. And now they admitted later that they have submitted the case to CAF, but FIFA hasn't gotten back to them. So the reports that were coming out that FIFA have started investigations are false. FIFA have not started investigations into anything. They have not responded to the FA, that's the South African Football Association, and it is only CAF that have acknowledged receipt of their appeal. FIFA have not yet done that. Listen to the South Africa CEO, Football Association.
We went
CEO
to Ghana. Ghana deliberately made the Accra Stadium to be their alternative.
But before then, he talked about the Ghana deliberately making the Accra Sports Stadium not accessible to them. As I said, the Ghana Premier League was still going on, and the games were being played even on Sunday. Even on Sunday, games were being played, so it was not accessible. And later he admitted that they have submitted the issue to CAF, and also that FIFA have not responded to them yet.
We went to Ghana and had to travel. At least we were lucky because we got an escort. Zimbabwe says after they played Ghana there, they were not given an escort, and the traffic is a nightmare. Ethiopia. The stadium of Ethiopia then does not pass the test, just hardly a month after we played there. Ethiopia asked for a stadium. They write to us on a Thursday night we receive a message from CAF to say if you don't confirm the stadium tonight, they will play in Ghana.
Wow, so I didn't know this one actually, because they were threatened. That's quite interesting, because they were, according to this, they were threatened that if they don't give the stadium to Ghana or to Ethiopia to play Ghana, they'll be playing the match in Ghana, and probably that was why they allowed them to play in South Africa.
As indicated, we have submitted, and we have not yet got anything official from FIFA.
Yeah, so that is where the press conference, the gathering of info I had, and then he submitted there at the end. FIFA have not officially written to them. They have not officially gotten anything from FIFA yet. So that has been it for today. Looking at the presser that was held by the South African Football Association, dissecting some of the issues, debunking some of the myths, some of the statements that were made and everything. I am not against a replay. If the referee is found guilty, yes, he should be banned. and probably if he is working for a betting syndicate manipulated in favor of Ghana because of that, I welcome any decision by FIFA. And that is basically what I'm calling for. South Africans have to calm down and allow the process to work. Let everything work. If it is in your favor, it is in your favor. They are presenting their reports to CAF and FIFA, and we'll see how things unfold. But I thought I should clear the air on some of the issues that were said at that press conference. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the week. Let's not fight among ourselves. We are all Africans in the end. I love you guys so much. I love everyone. I would not want anyone to hurt. And the incident about fighting in South Africa among Ghanaians and South Africans, I don't think it's the best. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your day.